Just trying to survive and learn to love along the way. By Foreplay on AO3. Episode 6, Chapter 6 of Scars and Kisses. Hizashi is in the middle of teaching Class 1A the meanings behind different English sayings when his phone rings. Normally, he'd just ignore it, but it's the ringtone he set specifically for Shouta, and he wouldn't be calling without an important reason. He gives the class an apologetic look as he picks up the phone. Sho, what's up? The little listener done his interview with Takuichi? He can always hope for a good reason for the phone call, but it's unlikely. Unfortunately not. There was an incident and I need you to bring Recovery Girl. He needs Recovery Girl. Is there something so bad that the doctor's quirk can't fix it? He's worried and doesn't even think before answering his husband. Shit, is everything okay? What happened to my listener? Hizashi grimaces as he accidentally activates his quirk, earning some interesting looks from his class. It will be once you guys get here. I'll tell you what happened then. I'm on my way. I'll just get midnight to cover my next class. I'll be no longer than 15 minutes. Hizashi is a very responsible driver, the majority of the time. But when someone he cares about is in danger, all the rules and regulations go out the window. He barely registers Shota's goodbye before the dial tone is going off. All right, class, I've got to go. Ida, I need you to go to the teacher's lounge and get midnight to cover the rest of the class. Without giving his students a chance to ask the question he knows they have, Hizashi ducks out of the room and runs to the infirmary, praying that Recovery Girl isn't busy with a student. She's not, and all it takes is one look at his worried state and his breathlessly saying Midoriya's name before she is up and following him out of the door and to the parking lot. It's 13 minutes and 49 seconds later that Hizashi and Recovery Girl are busting into the little listener's office room. He broke several traffic laws on the way over and passed a guilty-looking All Might on his way up the stairs. Sho is holding Midoriya in a soft half-hug on the floor, while his free hand gingerly holds the kid's bloody arm. He's got his face hidden in his husband's scarf, and his uninjured hand clutching his shirt so tightly that his knuckles are white. Dr. Claria is crouched in front of them, cleaning the blood as best as she can, while the wounds are still open. The sight is enough to have Hizashi lurching forward, crouching behind Sho, and placing a comforting hand on his shoulder, but still within Midoriya's vision, should he choose to look up. Shouta gives him a grateful look as he leans into the touch. Recovery Girl gently nudges the doctor aside before placing a light kiss on Midoriya's temple. Midoriya relaxes a little in Shota's grip, clearly exhausted. The best I can do is mend the bone. He's so tired that I can't even close the wound properly. These will have to be stitched, since it can't be fixed with a quirk. It will most likely scar as well. Recovery Girl frowns and stands to walk out the door, dismissing herself. Why don't you get him to the bed and out of that shirt so we can get him stitched up and into a clean one? At the doctor's words, Shouta scoops up Midoriya in his arms and walks the few paces to the bed, careful to not jostle him. He has a bit of a hard time getting Midoriya to let go of his shirt, but he manages. He then pulls off the blood-stained shirt, and Hizashi can't help but stare at what he sees. Scattered along the poor kid's torso are small burn marks. They look like they were caused by explosions. There are long, thin scars that look like knife wounds, but far too thin. Maybe someone's quirk? Hizashi would bet money that Midoriya's back has the same marks. The little listener is oblivious to their starings, gaze tracing the doctor's as she gathers things to stitch up his arm. Everyone watches as she carefully stitches him up, Midoriya clearly nervous about what's happening. It's not long before she is wrapping up his arm and handing Shouta a clean shirt to put on a half-asleep Midoriya. He does so without hesitation, and only hesitates for a moment before grabbing Hisashi's forgotten put-your-hands-up radio sweater from a nearby chair and pulling that over his head too. Midoriya gives a small, grateful smile before laying down. He's asleep in moments, and Hisashi turns his gaze towards his husband, hoping for an explanation. Instead, he gets an armful of Shouta, and he squeezes him back just as tightly before, guiding his husband to one of the chairs. I've got a feeling I should let Nezu know I'll be out for the rest of the day. Recovery Girl returns at his comment, and speaks before Sho can give him an answer. I've already got it handled. Now, Eraserhead, I think I deserve an explanation as to how Midoriya got hurt a second time. Why didn't you bring him to me in the first place? And why did we pass All Might crying in the stairwell on our way up here? Shota's lips quirked up a little at the last comment, before falling back down into the frown that had made its way home on his face since last night. The hospital was much closer than UA, and I don't think even you would be working past 10 p.m. As for your other two questions, All Might is an illiterate fool who decided to bring a suspected child abuser to visit her victim and leave them unsupervised. I doubt Midoriya would willingly be left in a room alone with her, so All Might must have ignored him and still left. He completely broke the kid's trust, so that's probably why he's crying. That's it. All Might's dead. A few tears is nothing compared to what Hizashi wants to do with the man. You didn't do anything to him. Threaten him? Recovery Girl looks surprised, and Hizashi spots Shota's scariest grin on his face before he answers her. Not yet, I haven't. At Hisashi's insistence, Sho ended up leaving to drive Recovery Girl back to work and to head home to shower and nap, promising to be back by late afternoon for the delayed interview with Tsukuichi. It's not long before he leaves that Midoriya is stirring. Present Mike? What happened to Aizawa-sensei? He looks worried for his teacher, and it's adorable. Hey, little listener. Sho went home to rest for a bit. You know you don't have to call us by our hero names, or sensei, out of school, right? You can just call me Hizashi, and I'm sure Sho would be good with Aizawa or Shouta. Midoriya looked a little shocked at that. Okay, Hizashi. Then you can call me Izuku. I'm not sure I like the name Midoriya anymore. Izuku gives him a sad, tired smile at that. It's a deal, Izuku. Why don't you go back to sleep? Sho won't be back for another few hours, and you could use the extra sleep. Izuku frowns at that, and Hizashi is just opening his mouth to speak when Izuku raises shaky hands and signs. Can't. Too loud. Hizashi really shouldn't be surprised that the kid knows sign language, and yet he is. He's glad that Midoriya is still facing the ceiling, and he can't see the shocked expression on his face. I'm too loud, or the hospital? Hospital. Well, you're in luck, listener. I've got an easy fix for that. Hizashi removes the headphones from his hero costume and places them over Izuku's ears. The listener reaches up one hand to feel the headphone, and the other to sign a quick, "Thank you." Go to sleep, listener. Hizashi leans forward to press a soft kiss to his temple, and Izuku gives him a watery smile before complying. I actually don't have much notes for this chapter, other than I love Hizashi being like, oh, well, that's it. I hate All Might. All Might. I do love the fact that Hisashi's like, I am a responsible driver. Except when loved one is hurt. Therefore, all the rules and regulations of the road no longer exist, and there is just Fast and Furious. Part Hizashi Midoriya. What? No, not Hizashi Midoriya. Hizashi Yamada. What's it called? Hisashi's like, I've seen enough Fast and Furious movies. Alright, let's go. Family. I can't. I'm so sorry. But, I find that hilarious. I really like that. I'm really starting to like this. I should have put together that Of Scars and Kisses would be about, what's it called? Obviously, Recovery Girl. Okay, so Chapter 7 summary is Tsukuichi finally returns for the long-awaited interview What more will they find out about how Izuku was treated? Alright, as I said before, my theory of, Izuku, although they did mention small, stabs as if, he was cut and stuff. Why was that there? I'm concerned about that. Okay, I'm a little scared about that, but, yeah. As always, my raindrops, make sure to eat, sleep, drink water, take your meds. Have a wonderful day or night. Link to my Discord server and socials are down in the description. Subscribe to see more of my content, and thank you so much for watching.